Okay, this is a Haruto Showcase, but before we get into that, I got a few things to say. I ended up doing a paid multi. I got a 50 crystal pack, and I did one pull on it. I ended up getting Roy, what it was called, and I ended up getting a Santa Malim. And I did it not too long ago. It's currently 9 o'clock, and this was done 20 minutes ago. And I ended up getting Santa Malim, so I'm pretty hyped about that. So expect a showcase soon. And I also want to say that somebody asked how to save their account, and this is how you save your account. Between these two symbols, the fifth button, you just click it, enter your email, you'll click the green button, and then you'll get a confirmation with a window telling you what you entered, and then you'll click the yellow button. And then if you want to swap accounts, you just go back to the main screen, and then on the bottom right you'll click this, and then on the top right you'll click this button, and then you enter your email, tap the orange button, then tap the blue button in the middle, and then you should be able to log in. So yeah, now we're going to get into the Haruto Showcase, and I'm going to talk about a few things with him. And then yeah, we're gonna get right into it now. Haruto is the first unit to be released from the next saga called the Phantom Snipers, and he is comparable to a unit called Mako for his abilities and his amount of healing and regen he can bring to the team, and his slots are pretty good. So we're gonna go into his abilities and slots now and talk about his kit and everything and how he stacks up to the meta. So starting off with Haruto's slots, it's a 5-star magic, 5-star support, 4-star healing. And his skill for 5 seconds reduces the enemy's accuracy by 10%. This skill is not really useful and it's not going to really benefit your team as much. But the main draw to Haruto is his arts and true arts with his passives. And it really shines when they all work in conjunction. So onto his arts. For 20 seconds, increases all allies' arts damage by 50%, and it also reduces the enemy's earth resistance by 30%. And this skill is so good. It has a big damage boost. 50% is nothing to laugh at. It's basically like a gem of rags built in arts, and it's similar to Delia's, with it increasing your damage by a ton. And the earth resistance is just icing on a cake, especially for Holy Trinity, because Haruto pretty much replaces Norn because his arts gen and him healing is just so much better than Norn in comparison. But now we're gonna go on to the true arts. The true art is for 13 seconds, heals all allies HP by 6%, and it also increases all allies art gauge by 5. But if the unit is human, it increases the art gauge by 7 instead. This true art is just the main thing that makes Haruto just so good, especially in conjunction with his passive. But the healing is just so immense that he can solo heal your team, and he also provides the art gauge that he can loop with Dark Finn or Finn, especially because they're human. Like units like Mako or Serpa will be good pairs with him also, because they also fall under the human category. But now we're going to go on to his passives, and his first passive actually works with his true arts, and it's every time his true art is used, it increases all ally stats by 10%, and it maxes out at 30%. This passive is just so good because it just gives you a big stat boost just for free, and if you just incentivizes you to use his true arts even more. The second passive is applied when he's in raids or cross battles and he's placed from the second party. And what I think it does, it changes your art gauge from 5 to 7, but I'm not sure if anybody knows the specifics on what it does. If you could let me know in the comments, that would be helpful. And his last passive is pretty easy. It just increases earth damage by 30%. So this makes him even more better on Holy Trinity. And now we're just gonna go into our equipment now. My equipment recommendations for general use, starting off with his magic slot. His best in slot would be his true weapon, and its skill
for 10 seconds increases own damage by 40% and reduces the enemy's earth resistance by 35%. And the reason why you would want to use this, because its ability, when equipped by Haruto, increases all stats by 10%, and it also increases his own art gauge by 2 per second. This helps him become more self-sufficient, and you'll be able to get to your true arts quicker, and you will have a good way to sustain yourself. And then his other passive is increases magic damage by 10%. You don't have to use his true weapon, but it's recommended if you want to keep him self-sufficient. But you can also use Alma's hat and True Exavitas. I always recommend those items if you want to keep their art gauge up, and they're easy to farm, especially the magical hat. It can be farmed in the side story. And then for the support slot, basically anything that can keep his art gen up, or if you want to do some damage boosting, that can happen. Like support items like Sacred Silent Treasure, Milim's Clothes, Goku, Arstellic, LDH, Magical Seal Mask. Those are some of the recommendations I would recommend, but it's just anything that can help your team. And then for his 4-star healing, I would recommend Force Keratos or Holy Knight Fenrir, farmed from the Christmas event. Or you can go like Flower Cane Rose. There's so many good 4-star healing. Like if you want to cleanse, there's some there. If you want to go for healing, go like Puck's Pouch and all that. And now onto his nuking equipment. For nuking, there's a lot of items you can put for his magical slot. Like if you want more earth resistance down, you can use Reveria's plushie or his true weapon. You can also use True Stratega or Megio Jackal Bomb for more damage resistance down. And you can also use Summon Skeletal Wings to boost magic damage if you needed. And then onto his 5-star support, things like Type 0, Letterbag, Chrono Dominator, Goku Uni, Remoran plushies. And you can also go Lisei's plushie that came out recently, and those increase damage and art gauge, anything that can get your team to your true arts quicker, because that's where you want to be at when you're trying to nuke. And for his 4-star healing, there's not many really good healing nuking items. You can run Lisei swimwear if you want to clear waves. There's also a healing item called Healing Blaze, where it inflicts more damage to the enemy if you use it, but I don't know if they still rerun it in JP, so I don't know how to get it anymore. I know it's on an event. But yeah, this is going to be the end of the video, and I want to say that today I'm not going to be doing a crest farm video, and I'm going to be grinding on JP. I'm going to be grinding Santa Milim and trying to get her some clips of her being used. And yeah, I want to thank y'all for watching, and thank you.
Oh, I could be all it is you need, 'cause we are trying to find a way to feel